And welcome to Stoic Advanced Women, where we explore emotionally intelligent strategies, inner transformation, and conscious dating. Today's video is for anyone stepping back into the world of romance after a major life transition, separation, or divorce. Chapter 1: Give yourself the space to grieve before you give your heart again. Let's begin with a truth that often goes unspoken in our fast-paced, instantly connected world. Healing takes time. If you've been through a separation or divorce, you already know that it's not simply the end of a relationship, it's the collapse of a world you once built with someone. The daily rituals. The shared dreams. The identity you had as a partner, maybe even a parent. And now, that version of your life is over. That loss deserves to be honored. Not ignored. Not rushed through. Not patched over with the illusion of moving on too soon. Why grieving matters before you date again. You might be tempted to fill the silence by swiping on apps or chatting with someone new. After all, who doesn't want to feel wanted again? Who wouldn't want to drown out the loneliness with excitement and attention? But here's the truth. Jumping into a new relationship while you're still emotionally bleeding sets you up for pain, not connection. It's like trying to run a marathon with a broken ankle. On the outside, you might look fine, but inside, every step hurts, and eventually, something gives way. Your heart needs space, not speed. Grieving is not weakness. It's the foundation of true readiness. When you grieve consciously, you're doing the sacred work of closing one chapter before beginning another. You're letting yourself feel the anger, the sadness, the confusion, and the guilt, not to drown in it, but to move through it with grace. What unprocessed pain looks like in dating. Let's get real, most people don't grieve fully after a breakup. They suppress it. Deny it. Or convince themselves they're over it just because time has passed. But time alone doesn't heal wounds, attention does. When you skip the grieving stage, that pain doesn't disappear, it just shows up later. Heavy checkmark in overreactions to small things. Heavy checkmark in choosing emotionally unavailable people. Heavy checkmark in repeating toxic patterns from your last relationship. Heavy checkmark in feeling now more detached even when someone good shows up. You may find yourself haunted by memories, comparing every new person to your ex, or feeling insecure in situations that shouldn't be triggering. These are signs you're not emotionally ready yet. And that's okay. Chapter 2: Reclaiming and Rebuilding Your Identity as a Man After Divorce. You are not who you were. And that's the good news. When a relationship ends, especially one as long-term and legally binding as a marriage, what often gets left in the rubble isn't just the shared home, the routines, or the commitments. What gets shattered is your sense of identity. You were someone's husband. You were part of a unit. You knew where you're morried. Mornings began, how your evenings ended, and who was walking beside you. And now, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, wondering, who am I now? The identity void after divorce. Divorce creates a vacuum, not just of love, but of self-definition. That vacuum can feel terrifying. Unstructured. Directionless. But let me tell you something crucial. That void is not the end of you, it's the beginning. You are being handed a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to redesign your life, from the ground up. Not as someone's partner. Not as the version of you who compromised too much. Not as a man lost in resentment, guilt, or regret. But as someone who gets to ask, what do I want now? What kind of man do I want to become? What legacy do I want to build, with or without a partner? This is your reinvention arc. And whether you're in your 30s, 50s, or 60s, it is never too late to reconnect with your fire, your mission, and your joy. Chapter 2a. Why you must reclaim your identity before you date again. Let's be honest, if you don't know who you are, what kind of relationship are you really building? If you enter a new connection still searching for external validation, you'll start molding yourself again. You'll shapeshift. People please. Lose yourself in her world. And soon enough, you'll wake up in a new relationship. Still feeling like a ghost of yourself. Why? Because the foundation wasn't built on authenticity. It was built on avoidance. Until you know what brings you joy, what you believe, and where you want to go, any relationship will just become another detour. So let's reclaim that compass. Let's rebuild your personal identity, not for her, not for them, but for you. Chapter 2b, The Identity Audit, Rediscovering Who You Are Now. Ask yourself. What are the things I used to love that I stopped doing? What parts of myself did I suppress to maintain that marriage? When was the last time I felt fully alive? What was I doing? What version of myself do I want to evolve into now? These questions aren't casual, they're foundational. They help you. Heavy checkmark reconnect with lost passions. Heavy checkmark reignite purpose. Heavy checkmark build your new dating life on confidence, not confusion. Start this identity work with what I call a lifestyle audit. Ask. Does my current life reflect who I truly am, or who I used to be? Go through your daily habits, social circles, and hobbies. Are they yours? Or were they inherited from your relationship? Let go of what doesn't serve you anymore. Chapter 2c, Become the man you would want to date. Here's something no one tells you. Your attractiveness isn't based on your looks or your money. It's based on your aliveness. Your presence. Your confidence. Your energy. And that energy comes from being deeply connected to your purpose and passions. So before dating, ask yourself. Would I want to date me, right now? Not in a self-critical way. But in an honest, self-aware way. If the answer is not yet, that's powerful. Awareness. So build the life you'd be proud to share. Not for validation. But because it makes you feel alive. Here are 5 powerful areas to rebuild. 1. Your passions. Reconnect with what lights you up: music, travel, business, art, sports, volunteering. A passionate man is a magnetic man. When you pursue what fuels you, you radiate something real. Something irresistible. 2. Your health. Your physical health is more than appearance, it's a form of self-respect. Strength training, clean eating, even daily walks help you reconnect with discipline and vitality. And let's be real, women can sense when you're taking care of yourself. It signals maturity. 3. Your purpose. Whether it's your career, a new venture, or simply showing up more intentionally in your community. Find your why. You don't need to save the world. But you do need to know what drives you out of bed in the morning. 4. Your social circle. Rebuild or re-strengthen a tribe of men who challenge you, sharpen you, and elevate your standards. Divorce can isolate you. But you are not meant to do life alone. Quality male friendships rebuild your sense of strength, perspective, and emotional regulation. 5. Your emotional mastery. Don't just learn to feel again, learn to articulate your emotions. A man who can own his feelings without being reactive is powerful. It's not about being soft. It's about being centered. That's what stoicism is: calmness without coldness. Strength without suppression. Chapter 2d, Emotional Independence equals Dating Power. One of the most dangerous reasons people rush into dating after divorce is emotional dependence. They want someone to complete them. To make them feel worthy again. To distract from the pain. But when you are emotionally whole, you date from a place of sovereignty. You don't need someone, you choose them. And guess what? That's the most attractive energy you can bring into dating. Not desperation. Not performance. But genuine groundedness. Chapter 2e, The Truth About Rejection Post-Divorce. Let's not sugarcoat it, rejection might sting more after divorce. You've already lost someone deeply important. So it's normal for any new rejection to trigger old wounds. But here's the mindset shift. Rejection isn't proof you're unworthy. It's proof you're refining. You're learning your boundaries. You're discovering who aligns and who doesn't. You're filtering fast, so you don't waste time pretending. That's wisdom. That's progress. So don't let rejection send you spiraling. Let it sharpen your clarity. Chapter 2F, when will you know you're ready? Here's what readiness looks like. Heavy checkmark, you enjoy your life, even without a partner. Heavy checkmark, you're proud of the man you're becoming. Heavy checkmark, you have clarity on your boundaries and values. Heavy checkmark, you're emotionally available, but not emotionally needy. Heavy checkmark, you've stopped fantasizing about fixing the past. When you feel rooted in who you are, dating becomes an extension of your wholeness, not a distraction from your loneliness. Final thoughts for Chapter 2. Your identity isn't something you lost in the divorce. It's something that's been waiting for you to reclaim it. This season of your life is your forge. And on the other side of this fire, you won't just be someone's partner again. You'll be yourself again, stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever. Chapter 3. Get crystal clear about what you want in a relationship. Clarity isn't just power, it's protection. By the time you've grieved your past and begun to rebuild your identity, you'll arrive at a vital crossroads. Backhand index pointing right. Do you actually know what you want next? Because here's the raw truth. Most people don't. They think they do. They say things like, I just want someone loyal. I want someone fun. I want chemistry. But when you press deeper, there's no real structure. No clarity. And that's how people end up repeating old patterns in a shiny new form. Let's change that. Let's get crystal clear on your relationship standards, values, desires, and your deal breakers. Because clarity keeps you from chasing the wrong person, for the wrong reasons, in the wrong season of your life. The danger of dating without clarity. When you don't know what you're looking for, you'll fall for anything that feels familiar, even if that familiar dynamic is toxic, unfulfilling, or rooted in childhood wounds. You'll mistake chemistry for compatibility. You'll mistake attention for affection. You'll mistake a vibe for a vision. But dating after divorce isn't just about feeling. It's about choosing, intentionally. You're not a teenager looking for butterflies anymore. You're a grown man building a future. So stop asking, is she into me? Start asking, is she aligned with the life I'm creating now? Chapter 3A, Lessons from Your Last Relationship. Your past relationship wasn't just a heartbreak. It was a blueprint. A treasure map to your deeper needs, your blind spots, and your emotional patterns. So grab that pen and journal, and ask yourself, what did I tolerate that I never want to tolerate again? What needs went unmet in that relationship? Where did I compromise too much? What warning signs did I ignore? What role did I play in the breakdown? Don't do this to shame yourself. Do it to learn yourself. Every failed relationship teaches you either what you truly need, or what you need to heal. Chapter 3B, What are your non-negotiables? Now that you've reflected on what didn't work, it's time to define what must work for you moving forward. Your non-negotiables are the pillars of compatibility. They are not superficial checklists, height, hobbies, eye color. They are the core values you cannot and should not compromise. Some examples might be: heavy checkmark emotional maturity. Heavy checkmark integrity. Heavy checkmark shared vision of monogamy. Heavy checkmark healthy conflict resolution. Heavy checkmark physical intimacy and touch. Heavy checkmark ambition or shared lifestyle goals. Heavy checkmark respect for your boundaries or parenting style. Ask yourself, if everything else disappeared, what qualities must remain for me to feel respected, safe, and fulfilled? Because if those things are missing, no amount of attraction or surface-level connection will sustain you. Chapter 3C, Understand your attachment style. This may be the most powerful insight of all. Backhand index pointing right. Your attachment style impacts how you give and receive love. Do you tend to chase unavailable partners? Shut down emotionally when conflict arises? Get anxious if you don't receive constant reassurance? Then you're not just choosing incompatible partners, you're being driven by unconscious emotional programming. Learn your attachment style: anxious, avoidant, secure, and begin healing through therapy, coaching, or intentional relationships. When you're clear on how you attach, you stop getting seduced by chemistry that triggers your wounds. You start choosing connection that nurtures your wholeness. Chapter 3D, Know Your Deal Breakers, 2. This is where a lot of people sabotage themselves. They confuse high standards with being picky or unreasonable. But here's the truth. Having deal breakers doesn't make you closed off. It makes you self-respecting. You are not available for dishonesty, lack of communication, addictions not being addressed, disrespect toward your children if you're a parent, emotional volatility, lack of ambition or direction, self-victimizing behavior. You are allowed to say no without explanation. You are allowed to walk away without guilt. You are allowed to protect your peace. Your standards don't make you difficult. They make you discerning. Chapter 3E, Define the kind of relationship you want. This is where you start building your dating compass. Ask yourself, do I want something casual or long-term? Do I want to remarry or cohabitate someday? Do I want more children or not? Am I open to blended families? What are my views on gender roles, emotional labor, shared finances? These aren't awkward topics, they are essential conversations. Too many people avoid them in the name of not scaring someone off. But avoiding clarity now only leads to conflict later. The person meant for you won't be repelled by your standards. They'll be relieved you're emotionally intelligent enough to name them. Chapter 3F, Communicate with confidence and integrity. Once you're clear, own it. Don't apologize for wanting emotional depth. Don't play it cool when you actually want commitment. Don't pretend to be casual when your heart is ready for real. You are not here to perform. You're here to connect with someone who aligns with your path. Clarity gives you freedom from chasing people who were never meant to be your match. Clarity gives you peace when someone doesn't align, you let go gracefully. Clarity gives you confidence when the right person shows up, you'll recognize them. Because you did the inner work to know yourself first. Chapter 3G, Practice saying no early. Here's a hard but powerful truth. If someone violates your boundaries or disrespects your standards early on, it will only get worse later. So speak up. Early. If she's flaky, communicate. If her values don't align, disengage. If she ignores your emotional needs, let her go. Dating with clarity doesn't mean judging others, it means choosing alignment. It's not rejection. It's redirection. Final thoughts for Chapter 3. You've been through the storm. Now, you're standing in the clear air on the other side. Don't let fog creep back in. You owe it to yourself and your future partner to date with open eyes and a grounded heart. White heavy checkmark, grieve your past. White heavy checkmark, rebuild your identity. White heavy checkmark, define your standards. This is how you break cycles. This is how you create peace. This is how you attract love that actually lasts.